Good morning, kids. In continuation of our studies in Women's History Month, for reading today, we're going to read about a person in history named Zaha Hadid from the book What Would She Do? 25 True Stories of Trailblazing Rebel Women. So let's learn about Zaha Hadid. She was a starchitect. So if you are paying attention to this word, starchitect, um, it's a play on words, mixing the two words star and architect. I know what stars are, and I know that an architect designs buildings, and so I wonder what this is all about. Nicknamed the Queen of the Curve because of her dynamic designs, Zaha Hadid was responsible for some of the most imaginative buildings and structures ever. Skyscraper? Check. Exhibition center? Check. Aquatic center, art museum, opera house, bridge, ski jump, car factory, and soccer stadium? Zaha designed them all. She was strong-willed and daring, always striving for brilliance. Her fabulous designs dazzle the world today. Her name? Dame Zaha Mohammed Hadid. She was born October 31st, 1950. She died March 31st, 2016 at age 65. Her nationality was British and Iraqi. Her profession was architect. Zaha Hadid was born in Baghdad, Iraq, where she was inspired by the work of famous architects Le Corbusier and Frank Lloyd Wright. Look them up. After studying math at the American University in Beirut, Lebanon, she went to London, where she studied at the prestigious Architectural Association School of Architecture. Here, she was taught to let her imagination run wild. So she did, totally wowing her professors with her vision. Now Zaha had to create a name for herself in a competitive world. It wasn't easy. She started out teaching at top universities around the world, including the Architectural Association and the University of Cambridge in the UK and Harvard in the US. In 1983, Zaha won a competition to design a resort complex in Hong Kong. But when the client ran out of cash, it was never built. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom this in just right, and it's not working as well as I want it to. That's all right. Let's see if this will work. Many other brilliant designs failed to materialize, but Zaha was not put off. She just kept on designing. It wasn't until 1993 that she was given the chance to see one of her designs in real life. This was the Vitre fire station in Germany, later turned into an exhibition space because it was an awkward shape for a fire engine. Zaha's fame grew, and she was given the opportunity to design more and more buildings. She became known as the Queen of the Curve. Zoom in again here, see if I can make this happen. There we go. Because of her fluid, fabulous, and unbelievably imaginative designs, there was the London Aquatic Centre, built for the 2012 London Olympics, the Haydar Aliyev Museum in Baku, Azerbaijan, and the Galaxy Soho in Beijing, China. Meanwhile, the Port Authority building in Antwerp, Belgium, looks like something out of a science fiction movie. And then there's the Guangzhou Opera House in China, which Zaha said was inspired by pebbles in a stream smoothed by erosion. Wow. Just wow. In fact, search for Zaha Hadid's designs online, sit back and prepare to be truly amazed. Quick note, I do believe that Guangzhou is one of Indianapolis's sister cities. In 2004, Zaha became the first woman to win the Pritzker Architecture Prize, something she described as the Nobel Prize of Architecture. In 2016, the year she died, Zaha also became the first woman to win the Royal Gold Medal Award, presented by the Royal Institute of British Architects. but she never wanted to be recognized as a female architect or an Arab architect. Zaha was an architect, plain and simple, and just like her amazing designs, she was completely one of a kind. What would Zaha do? Question. All the girls have started hanging around in a playground after school. You think it's boring. You'd rather go to after school activities and learn about something you're interested in, like art or basketball. But the girls are putting pressure on you to join them. What would Zaha Hadid do? Answer. Zaha Hadid was one of a kind. She dared to be different. Just look at the fabulous pieces of architecture she designed. Zaha would tell you to do what feels right for you. She'd tell you to ignore the other girls and to have fun doing something way more interesting than sitting around in the cold on a swing. And here's a quote by Zaha Hadid. Women are always told, "You're not going to make it. It's too difficult. You can't do that. Don't enter this competition. You'll never win it." They need confidence in themselves and people around them to help them to get on. And that is another installment from the book What Would She Do? 25 True Stories of Trailblazing Rebel Women.